Russell of Hotels going live for that show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about? This is show number 334. I know you guys thought, oh, maybe he's not doing it today. I know there's somebody, at least one person out there that said, what's going on? He's a little late. Yeah, I got caught up doing some stuff and kind of finalizing some things. I took too long to prep, or I took too long to do what I was doing. And I forgot that I needed to prep a couple things for the show. But you know what? It's like 106. Okay. So I did it pretty quickly. Okay. So I was working on, I do my own production, right? Like I'm now, I'm like some big studio exec, right? So I do my own production and my own filming and my camera work, and I got to write and produce everything. So I was doing this separate little project. And then I said, oh, I thought I had enough time to come over and do this, but to continue to prep for this show, but I guess I ran 6 minutes late. So if it's only 6 minutes, that's okay. So it's my show, so it's all right. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well. This is actually the monologue section, so it's okay for me to kind of see what the heck's going on, because I do need to make sure that I am live on Instagram, right? And I think I am. So I'm live on multiple platforms. That would be what is that? LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, as well as Facebook. So hello to all those audiences. Feel free to make comments. Just go to the chat, make a comment. I'll put your comment on the screen in real time. I'm Russell of Hotels. This is show number 334. I do this live hospitality talk show every Tuesday at 1 o'clock. I'm in Los Angeles, so that's why I do it at 1 o'clock PST, right? That's Pacific Standard Time. I also do a daily check-in, and that goes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, so those are typically shorter than what the on air this show would be. This show about an hour, maybe a little less, and then the daily check-in, I try to keep it around 30-40 minutes, but sometimes I get a little long-winded and I get people that come on and make comments. But that's what it's all about, right? It's all about the engagement. So I welcome everybody to come on and make a comment or whatever. And because I want to address those things, because those things are important. It's all about engagement with me, right? So if people have questions, concerns, whatever, hey, I'm here for it, all of it. So yeah, so we're on Instagram too. So I'm looking over there on Instagram. No, I'm not on Instagram. Let me see. See, I'm not even on Instagram. Hold on one second. Okay. Now we're on Instagram. Okay. Hey, Instagram people. So feel free to make your comments. I have to go back and forth on Instagram just in case you did not know. It doesn't show up on this screen. And people are like, did you have to tell us that? Because Russell, we really don't care. All right. Okay. My bad. Okay. So anyway, so there's I have a couple of shout outs that I want to give. I'm trying to think, should I give the shout outs now or say hello now, or should I just wait, do the intro and then come back and do the quick shout outs? Let me do the intro and then we'll come back and do the shout outs. Okay. So give me I think it's like 90 seconds. Okay. Give me 90 seconds. I'll do the intro. We'll be right back and we'll start the show. Hello. Welcome back to On Air with Russell of Hotels. Thank you so much. I think that was longer than 90 seconds, but that's okay, right? It's all right. Had a chance to drink a little water. Always got to stay hydrated. A podcaster's best friend is a bottle of water. Okay. And if it's cold, even better. Okay. So thank you so much. I was gonna say thank you so much for giving me the water, but no one gave me the water. Actually, I got it myself. So I don't have to thank anybody today. So anyway, okay. So I had a couple shout outs. Couple shout outs. I want to get those right now before I forget, because sometimes I do forget stuff. And contrary to what people think, I forget stuff every now and then. So okay, I'm not going to be able to do this, right? And I wish, because if I was able to do it, I actually probably would not have done the show today. My friend Victor Simmons, who was on my show probably about a month ago, he was talking about his new book, the presence driven leader, lead with presence, not position. He's doing a book launch today, right? In Palm Springs. He lives on the East Coast. He lives in Florida, but he came back to the desert because that's where he's from. And he wanted to unveil this book or release this book or do a party, a book launch, all that stuff. He wanted to do that from where he grew up, right? So he's actually at the Riviera Hotel Country Club in Palm Springs, and he's doing that today, actually tonight at, I want to say, 6 p.m. And I would have been there, but I got into a situation. Okay. What's the situation, Russell? Well, it's a situation. I hurt myself. Okay. So, and I'm gonna keep it as clean as I can, because I don't want to go into a lot of detail. It is clean. I mean, I'm being funny. I'm trying to be funny. For anyone that knows me, I do a lot of gardening. Okay. In the front yard, backyard, I do a lot of gardening. Okay. I cut my own yard. I don't have a gardener. I am the gardener. Russell is the gardener. Okay. So with that being said, I've been doing like yard work since I was like 10 back in Blythe. Okay. I cut when I was old enough to push the lawnmower. My dad said, "Hey, well, this is your job now." And I did it. And I had other lawns, yards. As I got older, I got, other yards that I took care of. I cut my ants and, that kind of stuff. So anyway, so I really take pride in my yard, right? I try to be have the greenest grass on the street, but that's not always possible. But it's always a challenge, right? So it's always an ongoing thing. Fertilizer this, trying this fertilizer, that fertilizer. Anyway, a raccoon had been vandalizing my yard for the last, well, he's been doing it since last year. Okay. But it just started kind of subtle. He would, he or she, I don't even know what it is. They would start, digging in certain areas of my yard, right? And this is the front yard. So everybody can see this in the front yard. So I started noticing it. And then one day or one night, and they come, but typically between like midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Because they're nocturnal. So I was watching. I mean, I was out. I was like making sure that the house was locked, and I always turn the alarm on and all that kind of stuff. And I happened to look out the front door, front window. We have a little bay window. I just happened to look out, and I see like 3 raccoons. They're like, tearing up my yard. Of course, they're looking for something to eat, like worms or grubs or something. Well, I didn't take too kindly to that. Okay, so I scared them away. Didn't see him for a while, whatever. But I noticed that the grass was still being turned over, and they're looking for food. So I'm fast forward, because this story's already gotten too long. Fast forward to not last Friday, this past Friday, the Friday before. Okay, I'm about to go to bed. It's probably between 2 and 3 in the morning. Okay, and I just happen to look out the same window again, and I see the raccoon, but he's not in my yard yet. He's walking across the street. Like, he has this little path that he's taking. He's across the street to the neighbors, and he comes, along their wall, and then he comes to their yard, the front of their yard, and back of their SUV, and he crosses the street. So I see him. I was like, okay, I see his ASS. Okay. So he comes across the street, and he's a good size. He's like an adult raccoon. Okay. So so he comes, and before he gets to the parkway, I go outside, right? And my house it sits like, the front door is up, so it's like stairs you have to go up. So I see him, he sees me, I scream at him. I happen to have something in my hand, right? So I throw it to scare him away, right? So I threw it. It didn't hit him. It like, landed next to him, just enough to scare him, right? And he runs across the street. Okay, all right. So I get out, go outside, I retrieve the instrument that I use, and then I go back in the house, right? No sooner than I closed the door, locked it, turned back around and looked out the window again, he's coming back across the street. I said, okay, I got something for you. So I go around the back now so he can't see me, right? But when I go through the gate, okay, and this is right after it rained. Now, anyone that lives in LA know that it rained pretty substantial maybe 2 weeks ago. Okay, so this was literally right after it rained, maybe the day that it stopped raining. So on the side of my house, it was dark, and I don't have lights on that side of the house where I could see that it was muddy and wet and all that, right? So when I saw him, he sees me, and I know that he saw me because I don't know if you guys know Wild Kingdom and raccoons. Well, they will get on their hind legs like they're people. Like I guess they want to present themselves as being bigger. And well, he's pretty damn big, okay? So, and he's not that close to me, but I wanted to scare him away. So I went to run and like kind of scare him away. And as I did that lunge, I was on the grass gave way, and I pulled my hamstring muscle. I hit the ground, and I'm like, oh man. And instantly I could feel it. I could feel the hamstring, right? And I'm like, oh shoot. So I stumbled up as fast as I could because I didn't want the raccoon to think he had the upper hand, right? Well, he did, and he's over there laughing. But I scared him into the tree. There's a tree right in the middle. So I scared him into the tree, and then I managed to get him out of the tree, and he finally got out and he left, right? Well, I had to hobble in the house, right? He didn't come back for a while, but the after effect of my injury has been going on 2 weeks now. Okay. And it didn't start getting better till actually maybe yesterday or 2 days ago. And so I was supposed to go. So I said all that to say this. I was supposed to go to Victor's event tonight, but I can barely walk. So I can't go. And so shout out to, so I said all that to get to this. Shout out to Victor Simmons, man. Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm sorry I cannot be there, but I told him, we've had a conversation. He's checked on me a couple of times. So once again, he's having his book launch tonight, Riviera Country Club in Palm Springs. So if you can't go, that's fine. Buy the book is what it comes down to. The Presence-Driven Leader, Lead with Presence, not Position. Now, Victor is a longtime hospitality professional. Started off when I started. We went to college together. And so I'm very proud of him, that he wrote this book, and it is definitely him. That's definitely something. If anyone told me 20 years ago that Victor was going to write a book, I'm like, yeah, of course Victor's going to write a book. So support his book. There it is. I'm gonna leave it there. I have a comment here. Let me see what the comment say. What's the comment? Resilient and relentless. Yes, they are. The raccoons are. We got some comedy. We always have some comedians. Okay, so Farrell, he's out there in Atlanta. Thank you so much. Yeah, the raccoons, there's something else. They're relentless and resilient. Yes, they are. And then Tyrone put up something. Will that come up? That won't come up, Tyrone. I'm sorry. Why won't that come up? I don't know why that won't. Your picture won't show up, Tyrone. So I'm sorry. I don't know why that is. But anyway, thank you guys for those comments. Yeah. So I am hobbled. Okay, I'm hobbled. So I'm unable to make it to Victor's thing tonight. And hopefully I'll be able to do this. And shout out to Miss Debbie Vale. She's with Visit Pasadena. She's one of the sales associates over there. Now, she invited me to lunch on Thursday. Now, I am trying my best to keep that appointment, Debbie. But if I can, I'll have to let you know tomorrow if I'm able to make it or not. Because like I said, I can barely walk, and I don't want to go out there and re-injure the hamstring. I don't want to do that. And we'll just reschedule. I mean, if that's okay. But I'm going to give it till tomorrow to see how I feel tomorrow, and then we'll go from there. So shout out to Debbie Vale. I appreciate you reaching out to me. Now, I made a comment, not a comment. I did some things. What did I do? I always have a topic when I have these particular shows. Just like today, I have a topic as well. And one of the topics, maybe it was last week or the week before, had to do with follow up from a convention or a conference. Now, Debbie does a great job of following up all the time. Okay, even when I don't meet with her, she'll follow up with me, and periodically she'll send things, updates on what's going on in Pasadena or whatever. So I get those all the time. So she reached out and invited me to lunch. So I'm like, this is great. Of course, I want to go to lunch. Pasadena, and they have non-meat eats. And she knows that, see, she's done her research. She knows that I don't eat meat, right? So she made sure she recommended a vegan restaurant, a non-meat eat restaurant. So see, those are the things that become memorable that you remember someone for, right? Now, remember this, I just said memorable, okay? So that's going to lead into something, okay? But no, I appreciate you, Debbie. Thank you so much. And then also another quick shout out to Miss Paula C. Now, I call her Paula C because I cannot pronounce her last name. Paula Carajo. I think that's how it's something like that. Anyways, I didn't mean to butcher it. No disrespect, Paula C, but that's why I call her Paula C, right? So Paula C, I'm going to be on her show tomorrow. So make sure you guys check this out. So she has a podcast. It's called Off the Clock. Off the Clock. So, I'll be relaxed, probably have a beer with me or whatever. It's going to be like at 1 o'clock. Well, that's kind of early, but if Paula C's drinking, I'm drinking. Okay. If she's going to throw one down, I'm going to throw one down. All right. So I'm not sure how this is going to go, but check out the podcast tomorrow. It's going to be on YouTube, 1 p.m. Off the Clock podcast with Paula C. And you see the name right there. So I'm going to keep that up there forever. So make sure you guys tune in for that, okay? Because it's very important. No, I mean, very important. I mean, it's important that when we get opportunities to go and talk about maybe ourselves, what we do, how we do it, I think it's important that we take advantage of those, because for every one that you turn down, you may not get another opportunity. Okay, so I always never don't ever not take advantage. Did I say that right? Always take advantage of opportunities to go and speak of your brand or yourself or the place that you happen to represent, whatever that happens to be. If that's a hotel, if that's a destination, someone asks you to talk about it, that's what you should do. Just do it. Go on and do it. So I said another comment. Who's that from? Okay, Righteous Temples. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining in. Let me check over here on Instagram, see who's over there. Craig Giangrosso, he's out there in Houston. Thank you, Craig. The Informer. Is that Jim Schechter? Thank you, Jim. Hey, Jim, I didn't get a comment back from you or an return email. I sent you what you requested yesterday, but I didn't get a response. I wasn't sure if that was okay. Let me know if that works for you. If that what I sent you worked. If not, I'll come up with something else. But that's what I had, and I wanted to send that to you. So there you go. And let's see what else. Let's move on. Let's see. Okay, so I did that. I took care of those things, right? Did I take care of those things? So let's move on. So I never do one of these shows, and you guys know that, where I'm not showcasing a hotel. So today actually is going to be twofold, right? Because I'm showing this hotel, but the reason why I'm showing this hotel today, because I've showed this hotel already, the Pacific Palms Resort, and that's okay. I can show as many times as I want, right? But I'm doing it for a specific reason, because there's a group that's having a family reunion there. It's called the Love Family Reunion. And I want to make sure people, because some of the people that are my family, they're following me on Facebook, they will see this show and they'll see that, oh, Russell talked about the family reunion and it's at the Pacific Palms Resort. Okay. So there you go. So guest rooms, 292, 45,000 square feet of meeting space. So plenty of space for a family reunion, especially for our family. Okay. So we're going to be there. The date, and I didn't put the date up there, darn it. The date is July 24th through 26th of this year. So in a couple months, the family reunion will be coming on. It's a family and friends reunion. So if there's because growing up in Blythe, we may not have been related to everybody, but within your family, you're related to everybody. Does that make sense? Because somebody married somebody from another family, whatever. So everything is intermingled. So the family name is Love. Okay, Love, Love, love. Do, 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 do. Anyway, so it's the Love family reunion. That's the name. That's the last. My grandmother was a Love. Okay, Love. She married someone by the name of Parrish. Last name Parrish, right? So all the Parishes are related to me, right? And they sometimes come to the Love family reunion, although they're not directly Loves. So it's all about the connection. It's all about the family. Okay, it's all about Blythe, right? So, and not everybody that comes is from Blythe, but a lot of their roots started in Blythe. Okay, so there you go. So like it's the Loves. I mean, it's a Love family reunion, but I'm related to the Parishes, to the Macs, to the Edmonds, of course, right? So everybody's invited to come. As long as you pay your money, everybody's invited to come. Okay, so there you go. So I just want to make sure. So the hotel I'm showcasing today is Pacific Palms, but it's for a specific reason, and that's the reunion, because I want to make sure people know about it and that they sign up for it. And there will be more information coming soon, not necessarily from me, but check out the Facebook page, Love Love Family Reunion and Love Family and Friends Reunion. I think that's what it's called, 2026. Okay, so any questions at all, just reach out to me and I'll give you the question. I mean, I'll answer the questions. So anyway, Pacific Palms Resort. I think this is the room that we're actually going to have the dinner in. Okay, so it seats like 190 people. I mean, it's a lot deeper than what it seems, but very nice hotel. One of those hidden gems a lot of people don't know about. And of course, they got the non-meat eats, right? I mean, this is from their restaurant. I enjoyed it, right? So of course, I'm going back, right? I'm going back. I need some more non-meat eats, and of course, for the event that we have, the dinner, the closing dinner, I'm going to have some non-meat eats. So I know that they're creative enough for me to get what I need, right? For me to get what I want. So, there's always going to be a couple people when you order whatever the food that we're going to order, which that hasn't been done yet. There's always going to be a couple people that are vegetarian or vegan or whatever options or whatever they happen to be, whatever hangups they happen to be, right? I'm one of those people, right? So this may be one of the things I eat. I don't know. We'll see. And I had to show this, right? Not because we're using this gazebo, because of course I think that's for weddings, or it is for weddings, but I wanted to show the greenness of this is Southern California, right? Right outside of Los Angeles, right outside of downtown LA. This is in the city of industry, excuse me. So the Pacific Palms Resort is in the city of industry, has two golf courses, and of course you can get married there. So a lot of green space there and views like this of the San Gabriel Mountains. I mean, can you beat that? I don't think so. And there's palm trees all the way around. Just that, how you would picture people from the outside, that aren't in California, how they picture California to be. They'd be like, oh my God, that's California. That's like a postcard. And these are pictures that I took. Okay. These are not photos that the hotel gave me. I took these photos myself. And this was just a month ago. So you can see that now the first body of water right there, that's a pond. Okay. Now the body of water to your left, you can see a little bit because the trees kind of cover it. That's the pool over there. Okay. So this is from, I guess, one of the guest rooms. And of course, I said golf. So of course, there's going to be golf. There's two golf courses there, two 18-hole golf courses. And the guest rooms, that's a king, of course. And here's a double double. The majority of the group will be taking double doubles, of course. Not the hamburger double double, but the rooms, double doubles, the beds. And this is that same, if you see right here, the pond right there, that's the same pond that I showed the aerial view, right? So I can you just picture yourself out here having lunch or having a drink right there as you're just kind of taking it all in. You're seeing the golfer, you see the golf carts over there as the carts are going by you and all that. Can't you just picture yourself? That's what I do. I kind of sit back and just be and just picture myself at this hotel. Like, oh my God, this is great. This is wonderful. So, anyway, today's topic is being memorable. How do you be memorable? How can you be? Is it something that you become, or is it something that you are? Are you memorable? I don't know, but I'm gonna go into this for a second because as salespeople, and I always try to remember back when I was back on property, which was about 7, 8 years ago now, right? My last position, I was a director of sales and marketing. Okay. But so I can't even remember as a sales manager, if someone asked me that, I'll be like, I don't know if I can even answer that question because that was before um the use, like we're using social media a lot now. Back then social media was like a new thing. It wasn't as back when I was a sales manager. Now back when I was a director, social media was gaining some momentum, but I wasn't using it like I'm using it now. Of course not, right? That's 7 to 10 years ago. I was not using social media, but my last stint as a director of sales, I was trying to introduce it to, of course, you got to introduce it to your general manager, to the staff, to the whole world after that, right? Well, guess what? They didn't get it. They didn't understand it. And now we kind of come full circle. And what do you do to be memorable now? Because now there's no excuses. There's really no excuses to be memorable. There's no excuses not to use social media. Everybody should be using it, right? Everybody should be checking out this show, right? No, maybe you don't. Maybe everybody shouldn't be checking out this show, but I mean, we know a lot of people watch things. We scroll, we look at this, we look at that, we look at the TikToks. It's entertaining for the most part, right? So I try to be somewhat entertaining and somewhat educational as well, right? So there's always a hidden agenda, hidden message into anything that I do. Okay, so being memorable is one of those things, right? But if you're a salesperson, in this hospitality industry, and I'm just gonna just say hotel sales or destination sales. This is for you. This is for you. How to be memorable. And some people know these things. Maybe they need a refresher. Okay, so that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to give you a refresher. So being memorable. So of course, I only limited to 3 points, at least 3 points that I'm going to talk about here, or at least on the screen. 3 things will pop up on the screen, but I have a total of 5. So I may just give you the whole 5, but just touch on the 3. Does that make sense? Can we do that? Can we do that? I think so. Let's see. Let me just get to where I'm going to get to. Let me get to where I'm going to get to. So, okay, being memorable. Number one. Okay, before I get to that, becoming memorable isn't about being the loudest person. Okay, some people think, oh, because I'm loud, I'm obnoxious, I'm gonna be memorable. Well, you don't want to be memorable for being an ass. Okay, no one wants that. Okay, can I say that? I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that one, but yeah, no one wants to be remembered for being an ass. All right, so anyway, I've said that. In fact, I said it twice. So it's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the most intentional, consistent, and valuable person people encounter. Okay. So you want to be intentional about what you do. You want to be visible with what you do. You want to be kind of strategic with what you do. You don't just want to just do things and just because you can do them. You know what I mean? My mom always told me, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Okay, yeah, you know what, Mom? You're absolutely right. So number one, visibility. People can't remember what they don't see. So if they don't see you, they're not going to remember you. Okay. If people don't, this is the thing. I just went to, and I'll just use this as an example again. My last show that I went to, last trade show, last conference, last convention was IPEC, okay, Independent Planners Educational Conference, which is a North Star meetings group meetings, yeah, thing. Anyway, so yeah, North Star manages IPEC, or that's their one of their conferences that they do. So it happened to be in Chandler, Arizona. Okay, so it was a 2.5 day conference. Okay, um, so I met a lot of people, right? You meet a lot of people, you have one-on-one appointments. I had 23 appointments. And I've talked about this in great detail before about the follow-up, but I'm not talking about follow-up right now. I'm talking about visibility. So people can't remember what they don't see. So if I saw you there and I don't see you anymore, then how am I going to remember you? And how people are like, well, how am I supposed to see you? How are you supposed to see them? I mean, you're not there anymore. The conference is over. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And 9 out of 10 of these people, I probably will never see again, and unless they are active on social media. Okay, then I'll see them. Remember the thing that I said. I always say this phrase: have a presence without being present. You can still, I can still be in someone's on someone's phone or in someone's um laptop without being in front of them. Okay, I can still have a presence without being present, without being in there in front of them. Okay, physically. It's called virtual, right? Everybody knows that, right? So we watch all this stuff on TikTok, on IG, on Facebook, whatever. We see these people, and a lot of times I have conversations with people. Hey, have you seen so and so lately? No, but I see him on Facebook. I send him a message on Facebook. That's having a presence without being present, right? That it's the same thing. So we will do that. This is the thing that gets me. Now, hold on. This is the thing that really gets me. People will do everything they'll do TikToks, they'll do things on Facebook. But when it comes to something that's paying them, their jobs, they won't do it. And that's the part that gets me. We'll do all these other things on social media, but we will not do things that let people know who we are, what we do, and how we can help them. Meaning who we are, what's our job, who do we work for, who do we represent, what do we do, what's our position, what's our title, how can you help? So if I'm working at a hotel, you best believe I'm going to let people know, hey, I'm Russell. I work at this hotel. This is what I do. I'm a sales manager. If you have groups yourself, or maybe you know people that have groups, refer them to me. Believe me, the sky's the limit, right? But people don't utilize the power that they have, right? Especially on LinkedIn. You're talking business to business, right? You can let people know this is what you do. But that's the thing that gets me, that they don't. They have the power to be visible, okay, but they choose not to. I really don't get it. But anyway, number one, visibility. People can't remember what they don't see. So if I never see the people that I met with at IPEC again, and then if they're not sending me emails or whatever, I won't remember them. I'll forget them. And the same for me. If I don't send them things or post things consistently, they won't know me either. So one thing that I do to make sure that I'm at least trying to be visible, I will connect with everybody on LinkedIn. So everybody that I met with 23 people, okay? I will make an effort to connect with those people, meaning I will request a connection on LinkedIn, okay? I do it all the time, right? In fact, I did it for the people. Some people accepted me, some people didn't. Okay. So, I mean, that's up to them if they accept me or not, but I'm doing my best to remain visible to those people. And as salespeople, there's no other way around it. You have to do it. If you're a salesperson with a destination or a hotel, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're doing the company that you work for a disservice. You have to do that. You have to remain visible. People need to know who you are, what you do, and how you can help. So there you go. Visibility. People can't remember what they don't see. Whew, man, that was a good one. Right? Whew, I'm tired. I'm done. Consistency. Memorable people aren't random. They are predictable in a good way. In a good way, they're predictable. Okay. Okay, Russell, that's a good one. Uh People know what you stand for, what you talk about, what value you bring. Okay. You got to remember all that stuff. Your brand should feel the same every time someone encounters you. That's exactly why Russell of Hotels, I'm associated with like hospitality, brand awareness, relationships, site selection, visibility. Those are things that people that know me, they know that I'm consistent with those things, right? They know that I'm going to post things. They know that almost every day that I'm going to post things. If it's 7 days in a week, I'm posting things at least five, maybe six. Okay. Some days, some weeks I do 7 days straight. Okay. The reason why I was late starting this show is because I was working on another thing, my other side series called Hospitality Unplugged. Okay, so some of the same things I'm talking about now, I'm gonna do in a like a 1 minute video about the 5 points that I'm gonna make today. Well, I'm only gonna make three today, but it's actually five, right? So yeah, so those are things that I work on because it's all about being visible. It's all about being consistent. There you go. And number three, intentionality. Memorable people don't operate by accident. It's not by accident that you see me, right? This is all strategic. This is something that I said how many years ago now? Back in 2019 that I'm going to start doing this on air with Russell of Hotels. Back in 2019 is when I started. Well, I actually said it at the end of 2018. And I said, I'm not going to leave 2018 doing the same things that I was doing this year going into 2019. So that's the reason why I started this, right? Because I wanted to be intentional, I wanted to be visible, and I wanted to be consistent because those are things that I was missing as a sales director. Those are things that I was missing, and my team was missing that as well, right? And I'm not afraid to admit that those are the things that I was trying to work on, but sometimes you get constantly, you hit you're trying to plateau and you hit something, you hit a ceiling, boom, boom, boom. And you're like, well, if I continuously hit the ceiling, then maybe I need to go somewhere and do my own thing. And that's exactly what happened. I constantly hit a ceiling with my last position or as a director of sales at this last hotel, right? And well, it wasn't the hotel, it was the people involved. Okay. I was hitting the ceiling with the people. They didn't understand the whole social media thing. They didn't understand visibility. They didn't understand consistency. They didn't understand being intentional. I really didn't know it either until that I was being that way until later on when I see that this is what I'm doing, right? And I'm trying to put the message out of who this hotel. But I wasn't I had forgot, or maybe I didn't even know at that point that the brand starts with me, right? I'm the brand who represents the brand. If that's a hotel, if that's a hotel site selection business, if that's a destination, I'm the brand that represents that. So I have to be visible in order for my hotel or my destination or Russell of Hotels to be visible, the company Russell of Hotels to be visible. I have to be visible. I have to be intentional. I have to be consistent, right? So we think sometimes we put the responsibility on the place that we work. No, it's not there. It's not that building's job to do it. The building can't speak. It's up to us to do that, right? So we have to be more intentional, more consistent, more visible. And we have to tell our story, right? Whatever that story is. You remember I started off this thing telling you a story about why I can't go to Victor Simmons' book launching party because I got into a fight with a raccoon. Okay. There you go. Well, not, you guys heard the story, so I'm not going to go back over that. So there you go. So those are the three things. I think I have a couple more. I'll just mention these. Number 4 is trust and storytelling. Emotion creates memory. This is the thing. Okay. I told that story about the raccoon. I didn't tell a lot of people that, but I just told 100 people this stuff just now. Okay. I want to see who's going to remember that and mention to me at a later date. Okay. That will tell you how much reach you have. Okay. That will tell you how much emotion goes into your storytelling. Because that was, that's something I shared with you. I didn't have to share that with you, right? But I thought it was important to let people know that, hey, I'm just like anyone else. I get hurt like anyone else, right? I do some stupid stuff just like anybody else, right? So there you go. So, and number five is value. Memorable people solve problems. What problems are we there to solve, right? So for me, as a meeting planner or someone that's creating visibility for hotels, um, I'm there to create, visibility for hotels, right? That's a problem that you may have. Maybe this hotel, the Pacific Palms Hotel, they have a problem with visibility. Okay, maybe half the people that are listening or that will watch this have never even heard of it. Well, my job is to promote and elevate and create some visibility for those hotels, right? That are maybe in that situation. So I'm trying to help a problem that they know that exists. They may know or they may not know, right? So and I haven't asked of that, right? But I know that I had forgot about this hotel because no one has sent me anything, right? No one has reached out. So, but the reason I remembered the hotel is because I sent out an RFP for this family reunion, right? And when I couldn't find another hotel that I thought was suitable for this group, I had to go back through my list of on the RFP, the initial RFP that I sent, and I saw that, oh, Pacific Palms. I'm like, I haven't been there in years. And let me reach out to them. And just so happened that Julio, who's a sales manager there, he had been sending me emails like following up, like, hey, did this, because he received the RFP, right? And so he sent me a proposal, but I didn't pay attention to it that much, right? Because I had other places that I thought this group was going to go to, but they didn't work out. And because of Julio's consistency, meaning consistent follow up, he ended up getting the business because he became visible to me because he kept sending things. He kept sending me updates about the hotel, asking me, "Hey, have you made a decision yet? We're definitely interested in having your group here. Is there something I could do with the rate? Can I work on the rate?" Of course, yeah, yeah. Let's work on the rate. He worked on the rate for me. So all those things lined up. But guess what? It would not have happened if he was not being consistent with his messaging. If he was not sending emails consistently, I would have not thought of that hotel, and we would have ended up going somewhere else. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. So follow up is huge, right? So I know that's the side thing, or I'm going off topic, but it's important that we know that. Guy Grooves Comedy. How are you, sir? He's on Instagram. So anyway, so that's that. I do have one more thing I need to go over, and that's who's hiring. Who's hiring? Where's that at? Where's my who's hiring? Where is my who's hiring? I normally have this stuff like queued up, like right there. I just have to click on it. Do I have to do this again? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Hold on one second, people. Bear with me. Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay. Who's hiring? Real quick, real quick. And then we're going to get out of here. Although I started the show late, so I guess I got a couple of minutes, right? I do have a couple of minutes. Okay, who's hiring? Okay, real quick. Real quick. The Omni Hotel downtown Los Angeles. They're looking for a group sales manager, and these jobs are all in the greater Los Angeles area. Okay, so Omni downtown LA. I love the Omni. I love the Omni. Group sales manager. In fact, I thought back in the day it was one of my favorite hotels. I'm not sure if I would say that now. It's not one of my favorite hotels now, but it was one of my. It's one of my favorites downtown. It is one of my favorites downtown, definitely. So Omni, they're looking for a group sales manager. Okay. And these are on Indeed.com. So feel free to go to Indeed and check these out. Oso Original Hotel. And I think it goes by it will OSO Hotel Group or Company or whatever. Anyway, OSO stands for Oh So Original. I don't know, whatever. They're in Burbank. It used to be the old Holiday Inn, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's the Hotel Burbank. Okay, it's the same company that owns the Hotel Burbank owns this Oso Hotel. All right, they're looking for a senior salesperson. Excuse me. The Conrad downtown LA. That's my favorite hotel downtown. The Conrad, which is part of Hilton, they're looking for an assistant director of revenue management, a dorm, an assistant dorm. You guys know what that is? Oh, he's looking for a dorm. Dorm stands for Director of Revenue Management. Okay, it's an acronym. You know, hospitality people, we're big on acronyms. Millennium Biltmore, downtown LA. They're looking for a regional director of sales that's going to handle all of North America. Okay, that sounds like a cool position. I like that. The Shore Hotel in Santa Monica. They're looking for a sales and marketing manager, shared services. I don't, and this is what they put on there. I'm just writing. I'm just relaying the message, right? Shared services. So I guess you're a sales manager and a marketing manager. Now I got an issue with that, okay? Because some people then they wonder why their marketing and branding's off because it's not a full-time position. I understand money, everybody. Yeah, I understand that. I get it. But you're only going to get half of everything, right? You're only going to get half of the sales. You're only going to get half of the marketing. Okay. Why don't you get one full person? But anyway, I just thought I have to say that, right? I just have little issues with that because we think that one person can do all this work. Being a marketer is a full-time job. Okay. And for that hotel, the Shore Hotel, which is in Santa Monica, on the most popular street in Santa Monica, Ocean Boulevard, right? Right next to or just right down the street from the Georgian Hotel, where I used to hang out all the time, and which was managed by Broughton Hotels back in the day when I worked with Broughton. So I know that hotel very well, right? And those hotels need marketing because they compete their competition is fierce down there. The rates are high. You need a consistent one person to do their marketing, okay? Not shared services. But anyway, that's just me. Courtyard by Marriott and Baldwin Park, which is right outside of LA, downtown. It's east of Los Angeles. I would say maybe Baldwin Park from downtown, like East LA, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And then the Delphi Hotel, downtown LA as well. They're looking for a senior sales manager. So there you go. Those are the positions that are opening or that are open. So, act accordingly. Okay. If you need a job, there you go. But just go hcareers.com and those jobs are there. So I think that's it. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining this. I'm sorry. Once again, I'm sorry. I apologize for being a little late, but I told you, why was I late? Oh, I was working on the project and I gave you a little story about why I can't go to, Victor Simmons thing today. In fact, let me just give Victor another quick shout out. So once again, shout out to Victor Simmons. Congratulations, Victor, on your book launch tonight. I mean, he came all the way from Orlando to do the book launch here in the desert area in Palm Springs at the Riviera Country Club and Hotel Resort. So yeah, so if you're around there, Victor, go have a drink on me, okay? Just go there, have a drink, say, hey, put that on Russell's tab, and he'll take care of it. So yeah, go ahead and do that. And then shout out to Miss Paula C. Thank you again so much for inviting me on your podcast. I look forward to it tomorrow. It's actually tomorrow, right? But we've been planning this for the last several weeks. Once again, it's called Off the Clock, and it's tomorrow at 1 p.m. And that's 1 p.m. here in California. Paula C is in Brazil. I'm here in California. So it's all about the international collaboration, right? How many people do that? I mean, now we can do it. Now, back in the day, it was unreal. You couldn't even think about collaborating with someone in another country, right? But now it's like no big deal, right? So we've been doing this for a while, right? This is not the first collaboration we've done. This is probably the third or fourth time. So yeah, and I've never met Paula C in person. Never met her in person. That's the thing about like social media and LinkedIn and all those things. You can make these connections, You can work with them, you can do certain things, you can do projects together or whatever, and not even have to meet them. You know what I mean? When we do Zoom, we do all these things. So it's just incredible the way things have, evolved over. And this hadn't been long, right? Since like 2019 is when this whole thing started with like Facebook Live first and all these other, StreamYard started coming up, and then Ecamm came up, and now Restream. All these things have making things a lot easier to do a podcast. The traditional podcast didn't have video. I mean, you couldn't see, right? It was just basically, it was 100% audio. Now, this is a podcast now, right? So the podcast of 7 years ago has changed. So there you go. So, yeah, I mean, things are just really just going crazy. And once again, shout out to Debbie Vale. Thank you so much for the invitation. And I'm hoping I'm going to be able to keep that invitation, Debbie. But I'll let you know tomorrow. If I cannot make it, I will definitely let you know that I can't make it. But I'll let you know tomorrow that I can or cannot. Okay. But no, thank you so much for reaching out. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for choosing to listen to On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show that everyone's talking about. This was show number 334. Any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Do I have my email up here? Let me see. Do I have my email? So I can give you that. I got it somewhere. There's my email right there. So feel free to reach out to me, Russell at russellofhotels.com. My website is russellofhotels.com. So feel free to reach out to me on that as well. My phone number is there. I have a blog. All the information is there. So feel free to reach out and touch if you so desire to do that. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate the comments, the people that made the comments earlier. And let's see, let me just look over on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for joining again. Guys, Guy Grooves Comedy, thank you. Craig Giangrosso, Jim the Informer. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys coming on. And then on the other hand, I see one more comment. Who is that? Oh, Raj Rogelio Ensign. Hey, I'm feeling okay, man. I'm feeling better. Thank you so much. See, Raj is one of the people that I told that I got into this fight with this raccoon and I pulled my hamstring. Okay, so no, I'm doing okay, man. I can't make it today though, to Victor's thing, so I won't be there. I'll be here healing. Hopefully, this thing gets better tomorrow. Every day for the last couple of days, it's been getting better. So hopefully it continues to get better. So, but thank you so much, Raj. I appreciate that. And I guess that's it. That is it. So you guys, thank you again for joining. I'm just trying to get back to where Where am I trying to get back to? I'm gonna get back to Okay, so real quick, IG. If you don't follow me on IG, please do so. At Russell of Hotels. That's my what is it called? Tagline or whatever. And then on YouTube, same at Russell of Hotels. And then on LinkedIn, Russell L. Edmond. Okay, so that's how you find me. Send me notes, send me messages, whatever you want to do. I'm there. I'm accessible. Thank you guys so much for joining. Once again, this was On Air with Russell of Hotels. This show is every Tuesday at 1:00. Same platforms. We hope to see you again. Comments are welcome. I appreciate all the comments, the chatting, and all that stuff because that's what it's all about. It's all about engagement. Also, I do a daily check-in as well. It's called the Daily Check-in with Russell of Hotels. Duh. And then that's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mondays, I have a guest host, Miss Tiffany English. She comes on and talks about, because like right now, Tiffany's at what is it called? Luxury and wellness meetings by North Star. She's there up north in Sonoma County. She's doing that right now. So next week we'll talk about that. We'll talk about her trip that she just took to. She was on the Virgin Cruise, and I was asking specifically, do they have meeting space on cruise ships? Because I've been on cruises before, but I never been in the mindset like I need to look and see if they have meeting space there, because they do have meetings on cruise ships, but I never seen the meeting space. So I asked her to seek it out if she would, and she said she did. So we'll be able to talk about that stuff as well. So she comes on Mondays, and we talk about like the week before or any trips that either one of us have taken, and it's always a good time. So make sure you check that out. And then the other days it's just me, and we just talk about whatever. So that's it. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Great week. And as always,